Advanced glycation end products, or AGEs, represent one of the most insidious aspects of aging, and they're directly linked to dietary choices most people make daily without realizing the consequences. Let's talk about what's actually happening at the molecular level and why this matters so much. Glycation is a process where sugars bind to proteins or lipids without enzymatic control. It's essentially caramelization happening inside your body. When blood sugar levels are elevated, glucose molecules react with amino acids in proteins, forming crosslinks that make proteins dysfunctional. These AGEs accumulate in tissues throughout your body: your skin, blood vessels, kidneys, eyes, brain. They're not just markers of aging. They actively drive aging processes. The damage is multifaceted and genuinely concerning. AGEs create oxidative stress and inflammation. They cross-link collagen, making tissues stiff and dysfunctional. In blood vessels, this contributes to atherosclerosis. In skin, it causes visible aging. In the kidneys, it contributes to renal dysfunction. The lens of your eye becomes increasingly glycated with age, contributing to cataract formation. AGEs in the brain have been implicated in neurodegenerative diseases. Here's where diet becomes critical in two ways. First, you're consuming AGEs directly in food. High-heat cooking methods, especially dry heat like grilling, roasting, and frying, create enormous amounts of AGEs. That beautifully browned, crispy exterior on grilled meat, that's AGEs forming. The more browning, the more AGEs. Animal products cooked at high heat are particularly high in AGEs. Processed foods often contain high levels. Second, your dietary sugar intake drives endogenous AGE formation. Every time you spike your blood sugar, you're creating more glycation reactions. Chronic high blood sugar from poor dietary choices or diabetes dramatically accelerates AGE accumulation. This is why diabetes complications are essentially accelerated aging of multiple organ systems. So what's the practical intervention? Cooking methods matter enormously. Steaming, boiling, and stewing produce far fewer AGEs than grilling, broiling, or frying. Lower temperature cooking, even if longer duration, results in less AGE formation. Using acidic marinades like lemon juice or vinegar before cooking can reduce AGE formation significantly. These aren't small differences. You can reduce AGE content of food by 80% or more with method changes. Blood sugar management becomes critical for reducing endogenous AGE formation. This means dietary strategies focused on minimizing glucose spikes, emphasizing low glycemic index foods, combining carbohydrates with fiber and fat to slow absorption, and potentially using continuous glucose monitors to understand your individual glucose response to different foods. You might be surprised which foods spike your blood sugar. Certain supplements show anti-glycation properties. Carnosine, a dipeptide found in meat, can actually bind to sugars before they glycate proteins. This is a sacrificial molecule. Benfotiamine, a fat-soluble form of thiamine, activates enzymes that redirect glucose metabolism away from AGE-forming pathways. Alpha-lipoic acid has anti-glycation properties through antioxidant mechanisms. Herbs and spices are rich in compounds that inhibit glycation. Cinnamon, turmeric, ginger, garlic, and cloves have all shown anti-glycation properties in research. This isn't just flavor. These compounds actively interfere with the glycation process. Regular inclusion of these foods provides a protective effect. Continuous glucose monitoring is becoming more accessible and provides actionable data. You can see your individual glucose response to different foods, meal timing, exercise, stress, and sleep. This allows personalized dietary adjustments rather than following generic guidelines. Here's a sobering reality. Age accumulation is partly irreversible. Once proteins are glycated and cross-linked, removing those modifications is difficult. This makes prevention crucial. You can't just clean up AGE damage easily later. You need to minimize formation throughout life. The practical protocol involves multiple elements: cooking method modifications toward lower heat, moist cooking, blood sugar management through low glycemic load diet, anti-glycation supplements like carnosine and benfotiamine, rich inclusion of anti-glycation herbs and spices, and glucose monitoring to personalize your approach. This is a comprehensive strategy addressing both dietary AGE intake and endogenous formation.